Welcome everyone. Welcome. Today's October 5th. It's a beautiful day out in Canada. It's a little bit cold, obviously. Definitely getting into the colder ranges as it's, fall. So today, I'm super excited. Literally, I'm super excited to have the team on, from Mr. Beast Fan Token. And I've been talking to these guys for quite a while, what these guys have is just it's just what they have in store is absolutely massive. I aped in a couple beans right at launch, and it just flew up like crazy, went down a little bit, and then flew all the way last night, I believe, to around 1.2 million market cap, which is absolutely nuts. And the vision that these guys have with donating to Team Trees, and as soon as as volume picks up, and of course as market cap goes up, there's a possibility that MrBeast could see this and say, hey, these guys are donating like what $20,000-$30,000 to Team Trees. We got to support them, and I'm just excited to see what the team has in store. A great team behind this, and I personally talked to Zuckerberg's, who is the co-owner of the MrBeast fan token, and he just definitely knows what he's doing. He knows how to market. He knows how basically how to run a project super well. So I'm here with Tradar. He's going to be the VC host for MrBeast fan token, and I just want to see what he has in store on behalf of his team. So Tradar, if you want to maybe mention a couple things about yourself, and then we'll go into the token itself.
Absolutely. I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for having us here. It's a pleasure. I love doing these things for a number of different reasons. Not so much to talk about myself, but to talk about what we're doing and how we're going to hopefully change the overall perception of cryptocurrency to maybe the public eye. We know how much reach that somebody like MrBeast has, and even if we just get affiliated with some sort of charitable aspect, I think that'll do really good things for the overall name of cryptocurrency, seeing as it's always associated with that shadow that comes with it. In terms of myself, I work full-time crypto. So unfortunately for me, sometimes that's really hard for the time zone that I'm in because, like I said, I'm 10 o'clock at night right now. However, a lot of this stuff takes place. A lot of the projects that I work with and advise on, they all take place in America. So I'm up late and, I don't really mind because I love what I do. I work for a number of different projects, one of which being PrimeDAO. And for them, I do fundamental analysis reports on Ethereum protocols. So I basically go in depth and give it a score based on a template that is provided to us. And it's basically just deep research into these different protocols. The reason we do that is we try and educate as many people as possible in terms of DeFi, more specifically than just your regular, retail investor. And then on another project that I work for is a DeFi education platform. I would argue to say that it is the biggest one out there. And what we do is my personal role is to research new projects that are coming out and find, basically I pre-sale hunt and I find projects that could have potentially malicious code in them. And then the development team over there, they have a look at it. And if there are any things in there that look fishy, whatever it is, we write a quick little report, give it a risk rating. And that way, before people invest, they can actually submit this farm to the or submit this token to the main chat, and it will get viewed or it'll get reviewed, and they'll have a better idea of if it's safe or not safe to some extent. Outside of that, like I said, I work full time, so when things are slow or if we're in a bear market, I am a trader as well, hence the name. And yeah, that's my crypto background. I really love this stuff. I really like trying to push towards Web3 innovation as well as just overall crypto acceptance and the decentralization of the financial world, because I think that what we're dealing with right now is one of the biggest crimes in humanity's history of the regulatory financial system. So any step we can take to kind of step away from that is a step in the right direction in my book.
Perfect. So you definitely have, a great intensive background on obviously reading code, Solidity in general. And so you guys, review projects, see, hey, if there's any code in it that's bad, you'll post it, I guess, to your community. And then from them, people, can make a judgment if they want to invest or not, which is absolutely amazing. So how did you get into, how did you, get into the MrBeast, fan token? Mention a little bit about that.
Yeah, so funnily enough, I actually came across it on when I was researching for the education platform that I work for, trying to find just going through the pre-sales. And when I found it, I ended up joining their Telegram. And when I joined their Telegram, I saw a bunch of familiar faces. So I actually know Zuckerbergers from basically just the years of being in this space. We've had DMs in the past about, multiple different things. And when I recognize some of the people in the chat, they basically reached out because they know that I am, I do speak quite a bit in terms of crypto, whether it be about projects, whether it be hosting AMAs, or whether it be just straight up debates through these Telegram channels. They know that that's kind of what I got a knack for. So they asked me if I wanted to come on and represent and as an advisor, do these AMAs whenever they come up. And then when the voice chats are going on in the main chat, I always like to jump in and speak with everybody. Just to quickly touch on something you said earlier, I'm not a developer. I find the project, I give it to the developers, and my coding knowledge it's basically, it's another language to me. But that's the beautiful thing about cryptocurrency and, what we've got over at the education platform, and same with MrBeast fan token, is a whole bunch of people from all over the world coming together, trying to make something better. In terms of where I work with the education platform, it's to make crypto better. In terms of MrBeast, it's to make these donations as well as make crypto better in terms of the public eye and everything. So I was very happy to jump on board in terms of this, because like you, I invested on the fair launch. There's no team tokens at all. So I'm not, incentivized to do this outside of my original investment. And I love watching this stuff grow because, again, like we'll touch on further down in this AMA, we've got the dashboard open. So you can go in and actually look at how much reflections you're getting. And you can also just track how much donations are actually going to Team Trees and Team Cs. It's a pretty incredible thing to watch this money kind of flow through the project, the price still go up, correct itself, and then we come back and we battle through it again. All the same time, even when those red candles come up and then those green ones come after it, it's donations and donations, donations, donations. That charity wallet is becoming more and more solvent to the point that we can continue to make these donations. And that's the plan moving forward. Maintain a level of hype, maintain a level of, positive price action to the point that we can get as many investors into it as possible. So that means in turn, we can donate as much money as possible.
You guys are absolutely killing it. And what I've really noticed, a lot of people, they underlook these type of tokens. I remember back, I think it was about, 2 months ago, there was this token I was invested in, and it was it was called Top G. It was, obviously for Andrew Tate. And that token just absolutely blew up. And I guess people didn't look past it, like, oh, it's just like a little, fan token, but influence. But a lot of people look over the fact that, hey, the team behind it and what they're planning to do is just absolutely nuts. And that's why, obviously I've partnered with you guys. You guys are absolutely killing it in the game. You guys know how to market stuff, and I'm just super excited, to see in the future. So could you mention a little bit about, previous stuff that you guys already did for donations regarding Team Trees, and then a little bit about, what you guys have in store for the next, couple days?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you got that mass DM that went out when we were promoting MrBeast fan token, but some of the people that developed Top G are actually helping develop MrBeast fan token. So the one that absolutely blew up was some of the same guys on both both teams.
Right. Yeah, I made some money on Top G token. Yep.
Yeah, awesome. So the reason that MrBeast fan token kind of came to fruition was due to the fact that we saw how positive a fan token can do. The issue that was made on the first time around, obviously, completely different project. So there's no affiliation between the two in terms of smart contracts or holders. But the issue is that Andrew Tate is a very controversial public figure. And shortly thereafter, he's been banned off all social media. So it kind of came as depending on what fan token who you base your fan token off of, it's really important to pick and choose what kind of public figure they are. So MrBeast is a well-known philanthropist, and he's giving back so much. And that's kind of the idea behind this as well. We want to give back as much as possible. Obviously, there's financial incentive here. For everybody who invests, it's great that we can donate, but at the end of the day, we're doing these, AMAs, we're hanging out in these voice chats, we're hanging out in the telegrams, and we're gathering data and information. And ultimately what we want that data to allow us to do is create financial gain for us as individual investors. At least that's where I come from. I also very much so am passionate about charity and donating and everything that we possibly can to try and make other people's lives better. So when it comes to making other people's lives better, in terms of MrBeast fan token, let me just get it up here. I have it here. So far we've donated $11,000. And if I'm not mistaken, that's 5,500 and 5,500 to each respectively Team Trees and Team Seas, which are two charities that they are MrBeast's charities. So as these donations go in, that's one avenue to try and spark a little bit of attention from them, try and get some sort of recognition from them. But as these donations keep going, we're also looking at spending this marketing money in ways that are going to get his attention as well. So he's from Carolina in the United States, and we've got mock-ups made and we're ready to put them in as soon as, we're ready to pull the trigger. There's going to be massive billboards going up and really nice art, really nice, straight to the point. It's got a picture of him in terms of, animated, whatever. And it basically just gives the general idea that this is a philanthropic, oh God, I can never say that word, charitable, I'll go with the synonym, a charitable cryptocurrency, crypto token that is looking to donate as much money as possible to these, good causes. And it doesn't just stop at Team Trees and Team Seas. Ultimately, we have plans to pay off. You can go to it right now and on in the apps on our on the website, you can actually submit kind of your story. If you've got something going on, student loans, debt, you're behind on rent, we got a Google Doc. You fill out that Google Doc and we can verify and make sure everything is legitimate. We're going to be paying people's rent. We're going to be paying off, chunks of people's student loans. And depending on how much volume's coming in, we'll be paying off people's entire student loans. On top of, we don't want to keep this on an individual aspect. We want to do this where money's going to be put to good use. And that's why we've, $11,000 so far has gone to Team Trees and Team Seas. And then on top of that, when we go to the dashboard, if we look at, let me just refresh it to make sure that it's an accurate number because it just keeps going up. Yeah, it already went up $1,000 since I started speaking. Total reflections paid back to the holders is $14,631 BUSD, right? So the reflections are actually coming out, and this is back in the day, SafeMoon, all this stuff with the OG of reflection tokens. By the time it got so big, these reflections were, pennies on the $100 bill essentially, and you weren't seeing any sort of, actual incentive to hold for the value you were getting. But in the beginning, if you got into those projects in the beginning, those reflections at the all-time high of SafeMoon was printing people 20, 30, 40, 50 racks, $1,000, $50,000 to people who just held SafeMoon from the beginning and then sold it at the right time. Obviously, with SafeMoon, we all know what happened. Got a little bit too big, too fast, and those reflections came right back down. But the point isn't that they went from being, worthless to worth a lot to back down to worthless. The point is that if you can time these things right, even just the reflections can make you, a wealthy individual.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Last year, we were just talking about this on my frog night back on, I think it was Monday. And I got I guess my community, back then, it was last year. It was actually around this time, I would think. It was around 2021. There was this coin called Doge Bond, and a bunch of us, we got it in a 300K market cap. And I remember every single day because it flew all the way to 200. I sold it I think 70 or 80 mil market cap. I didn't have money back then. I was actually going to live in a tent, literally right outside my university. But it was I put in, I think it was $40, $50 or something like that, and it just flew to thousands. And I remember every single day, I couldn't believe my fucking eyes. I couldn't believe my eyes at all. Sorry for swearing, but it was I was making $80, $90 a day in reflections. And back then, that was nuts for me. I was 17. I was like, holy shit, this is absolutely nuts. And I could see how, obviously in the future, if you're super early on these reflection tokens, it just goes it's just nuts. It's just nuts. Obviously, what you guys have planned, for paying off, student loans, paying rent. I see it every day because, obviously I'm in university, and it's there's a lot of people, let's say I want to hang out with some friends, let's say, and we want to go have a bite to eat. Some of them, they don't have enough money because they got to pay school. They've been working all throughout the summer, and I understand it's super super tough. So will you guys have I witnessed it firsthand because obviously I'm a university student, but it's good to see through like a second set of eyes, especially someone I'm assuming you're not in university. I'm assuming you're a little bit older, but it's good to see that you guys are doing something just like this, and I'm supporting it right away. So, what do you guys have planned, for the short term marketing? And I just like to see what you guys have for short term, then long term, and we'll go on from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in terms of marketing, with the volume that we've been, oh, come on, guys. Sorry, my cats are going crazy. It's nighttime. They just go absolutely wild at this time. So it's always a little bit unfortunate. I apologize about that. In terms of short-term marketing, with the volume that we've got coming in, that marketing budget is actually getting, to the point where we can do some serious stuff with it. Like I mentioned before, I would never, ever for another project really push billboards, just given the nature of the type of marketing that it is. In my eyes, it doesn't do, the ROI on it isn't necessarily worth it. However, in this particular situation, given the fact that we have a single entity that we want to get the attention of, given the fact that it's in a not so populated area. I mean, obviously Carolina is, however, we're not talking Times Square. We're not talking, Tokyo, we're not talking these major ones that are going to cost an arm and a leg. We're talking, South and North Carolina in a few rural areas where a billboard space is not going to break the budget. And we can do multiple of them to really try and get the attention of the one person that we want to. Obviously, we're doing these AMAs. We've got multiple of them planned. We've also got like your traditional crypto marketing tactics, PooCoin ads, Dex tool ads. We've got CMC and CG coming up shortly. I'm surprised it actually hasn't come through already, but that's going to be a big boost for us given the nature of the token. Again, it kind of puts us in a different avenue. What worked 7 months ago for marketing a BSC token won't work now. But fan tokens, especially ones where we're targeting somebody that is into, charity, it allows us to kind of attack the marketing strategy a little bit differently, where what would work for us may not work for anybody else. And that's why something like the billboards or something along the lines of the traditional marketing still gets the word out that we want to spread in order to get more people coming into the project. And ultimately, when you buy, when you sell, both those are a 6% in, 6% out tax, right? That money is going to be going to charity in one way or another. So there's, as much as I hate seeing sells, there's a silver lining there where at least that sell 2% of it is going to a charitable aspect, right? So in the short term, we're looking at billboards, AMAs, PooCoin adverts, Dex Tools adverts, the traditional stuff, call channels, everything along those lines. And then long term, I mean, it really does just come down to basically the partnerships we can make through this and the volume that comes in. And so far, the volume that's been coming in supports a very solvent marketing budget that's going to be able to do a lot of things moving forward.
That's sick. You mentioned a little bit about, billboards. I remember a lot of people, they were pushing the billboard aspect, and obviously I was kind of against it, with certain projects, especially like meme tokens and stuff like that, because people don't really they just look at the billboard. Oh, it's a billboard. That's cool. Like it's just, I guess, people that it's like it's just for attention, I think, in my opinion. But for this, it's a little bit different because it's it's a single entity. It's MrBeast, single entity. So people might think, hey, these guys are supporting MrBeast. Let's see what they're up to. It's definitely a better ROI than, let's say, some average dog token on a billboard, on the SpaceX billboard, let's say. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And like I said before, it's not like we're spending 100 racks on putting something up in Times Square or at the Staples Center, I guess the Crypto.com Center, or anywhere anything major like that, where a lot of eyeballs will see it. But those type of eyeballs are not the eyeballs that we want. I mean, obviously any eyeballs are good eyeballs, but the point is that you could show a billboard in Times Square that has a MrBeast fan token on it, and maybe 1 in 100 people will look at what it is or scan the QR code or go to the website. Whereas if you're putting it in North Carolina and South Carolina and everybody there, I mean, he could arguably be the biggest YouTuber at this point, and he comes from this rural area in the United States. These people love him there. He's a household name. And if they see a billboard like that, I think that it increases the chance of whatever eyeballs land on that, it's going to stick with them. And, we're going to get hits and more eyeballs on the project, which in turn statistically turn into, revenue coming into the project. Now, that is just a small aspect of it. I mean, the billboard is I really enjoy the idea, specifically because I've seen the mock-ups, and I just think that it's absolutely awesome. I love our art. I love our designer and everything like that. However, there really is a good, if you look at the actual concept of it, it's a pretty good marketing tactic, especially considering that it doesn't really work for other projects, but it has the chance to absolutely explode MrBeast fan token.
100%, 100%. And you guys are, absolutely killing it. You guys know how to, graphics is everything. And you guys are absolutely killing it with the graphics. It looks sick. I think that's another way of how Top G, was kind of like, because I remember every time they, they hit a certain milestone, they would put like this cool flash, little, it was like a little banner, but they had, and they were like Top G just surpassed, and they would put this market cap, and then it was just really cool. And as you guys could see, I hope everyone could see, but we got a little, profile pic. I think it looks absolutely nuts. I paid my artist. And I just think it looks absolutely nuts with the little, the frog. He's got the little microphone on, and it's MrBeast fan token partner literally right behind it, and it's obviously MrBeast on the left. So I just think it looks absolutely sick. I was so proud of him. I was like, yo, this looks absolutely nuts. But yeah, sorry, I got a little off topic. But yeah, you guys are absolutely killing it. So a little bit of quick question about with the team and everything. So do you guys hold any tokens? Is there, if so, is there vesting in a sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are team tokens. It's a small percentage of the entire total supply. However, they're vested over, if I'm not mistaken, it's a year. And the team has already basically said that at this rate right now, the way things are going, they won't really need to be touched. So the ultimate plan with them is to either use them as something for giveaways, or to just straight up burn, or to add to any sort of treasury to kind of hold on to in case there is something that comes up that, we want to do in the future with them. But in terms of team tokens and the vesting periods, there's not really too much to be worried on the investor side that, when they get unlocked, then, a sell-off will come. Like I said, things are going very, very well. The volume's coming in to the point where we're able to make these donations. People are seeing the reflections. Me personally, I threw in, have you looked at your dashboard in terms of the MrBeast fan token app?
I didn't actually. Could you maybe send it to me? I didn't even know there was a dashboard. You literally surprised me today. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely for sure see it, because if it's a dashboard, it looks clean and everything. I definitely want to check it out.
Absolutely. So it's app.mrbeastfantoken.com. So just app.mrbeastfantoken.com. If you're holding any, just connect your wallet and you'll see everything that's on that dashboard come through. The amount of charitable donations, the amount donated to Team C's, the amount donated to Team Trees, the money in the charity wallet, your balance, the total reflections paid to everybody, and then your actual realized gains. And when I got into this, I'm not the wealthiest person in the world, but I do like to play. And when I did this, when I saw the fair launch, and I was, excited to actually get in on it, I put in a BNB. And I know it's not a lot of money for some. For some, it is a lot of money. But for me, that's right around what I like to play with. And since that launch, we launched on September 30th. So let's call it, it's about 5 days now. $12. It's free money, right? And it pays out in BUSD, by the way. That's pretty important. So that doesn't mean that people are going to constantly be selling the reflections that they receive and create a little bit of negative pressure. It's coming in as BUSD. The contract itself sells when it accumulates a certain amount of MrBeast tokens, so that it's not really noticeable on the chart. The reason we do that is for multiple reasons. You don't want to stockpile a bunch of team tokens, or not even team tokens, but reflection tokens or marketing tokens, whatever it may be, and then have to dump it when you want to use it, because that ultimately really affects the price, especially when people go in, they check the wallet, they go, why did you guys sell all these tokens? Well, it's for marketing, but no matter what way you do it, people are going to be upset because it affects the chart, which affects their bag. If it's in BUSD, when that money gets spent, nobody cares. Nobody even notices it, and nobody notices those tiny cells that accumulate to being able to have 20,000 that we can donate to a charity without dumping any of the actual tokens themselves.
Okay, so I'm very curious into showing the dashboard. One thing is that I don't, because as many may know, my wallet, my ledger ended up getting hacked about a couple weeks ago, and I lost a decent, a very, very decent amount of money. So obviously I'm very paranoid. So the only stuff I have is actually on my phone, which is like triple encrypted. I got some super thing that's super encrypted. So right now on my Mac, I could definitely show it. But obviously I don't have any tokens on my Mac because I have like this MetaMask wallet, I think has like $6 in it. So let me check it out. Could you do you mind sending me the website? I just want to see it real quick. And then I'll share my screen and I guess people could see. Also, this is nuts. Almost 200 people, and there's like it's 11:30 a.m. That's nuts. That's nuts. Okay, let me check it out. Okay.
There you go. I fired over the link to you.
Perfect. So I'm just gonna connect my wallet, and then I'll show my screen. Obviously, there's 0.008 BNB. Okay, not even $1 then on this account then. Okay, perfect.
Broke. I'm just kidding.
Okay, let me show the screen. 1 second. On this one second. Give me a second. I don't want to click video. Open system preferences. 1 second.
Just the accidental docs going on.
Yeah, let me just in case.
I mean, quickly, just to touch on it, it's not, it's not. Oh yeah, go ahead.
You think you could share your screen just in case?
Okay, let me see. I gotta minimize some stuff just so that I'm not giving too much away here. I'll connect my wallet.
Yeah, that would be ideal because I never shared on my Mac. It's usually Alan that does all the sharing and everything. So this is new. I just got my Mac a couple weeks ago. So perfect. Okay, thank you.
Okay, one second here.
The dashboard looks cool. Definitely could use, in my opinion, a little bit more of an aesthetic feel. But right now it's not. It looks pretty good for obviously a 5-day token. But yeah.
Give me 1 sec here.
You think that's done? But maybe add some like shadows, I guess, on the if you want to talk to your front end dev. But let's say where it says philanthropy. I guess I'll show it once you share your screen, so I can understand.
Sure thing. I'm just connecting here. All right. So I'm going to make this a single tab. That way nothing else is out there. All right. So if I go video, I'm just going to thumb that camera too. And then how do I, there it is, share screen. Oh God, I got to go through some stuff right here. I normally don't share screens or my camera. So you know what, just given nature of time right now, maybe I don't do it. What I can do is, yeah, and it's a bit of an unfortunate situation. I didn't see this.
I'll put an update out in the later. If you guys want to check it out, the website is app.mrbeastfantoken.com, app.mrbeastfantoken.com. I'll show it later in an update.
What I'll do right now is I'll send you just a screenshot of it. Oh, oops. You know what? Actually, let me just quickly. Yeah. So I'll send you a quick
little screen. Okay, perfect.
A little screenshot. I'm just blanking out my wallet I have no idea why, but it's just always been something I've done. That sucks about your ledger, man. I'm always paranoid that this is one day going to happen, but I think being paranoid on this is one of the things that actually keeps us safe.
Yeah, you think obviously it's a ledger, so it's impossible to get hacked? Guess not.
Yeah, it's a brutal world out there. The scammers are getting better and better, and unfortunately, the only way that we can get better at stopping them is by getting attacked by them one way. Because until you know what went wrong, you can't
Yeah,
really fix it,
exactly,
right?
exactly, 100%. So
Okay,
yeah,
so I
so
sent you that screenshot. You can post it to your community if you want. Outside of that, guys, we've just been donating like a lot of money, and the dashboard itself is just a really good way to show you how much reflections you're actually getting. I think it would have done, very well back in the day, but as we move forward in Web3, these are the type of things that the development team that's backing, and working towards creating MrBeast fan token to be as big as it possibly can. This type of innovation is what we're going for. This is not groundbreaking financial technology. However, these little UI, UX experience things that are coming out with this is just a step in that Web3 innovative direction. And it also shows a little bit of, what the team is able to basically create in 5 days in terms of this dashboard. Wasn't live when we had the fair launch and went live, actually injected liquidity. But throughout all the madness of launching a token and everything, devs were still working. They're able to come up with a dashboard. They're able to basically create a Web3 dApp that you connect your wallet to. You see everything MrBeast fan token related. And most importantly on that, you see the actual charitable donations that are coming, whether that's on the dApp itself or on the main website. If it's on the main website, there's just a little like tracker bar you can look at, and it looks really clean. I mean, I love everything about like we spoke about earlier, the design here, the layout, everything about the actual project is, in my eyes, super, super clean. I love it. But like I said before, we're not coming in here claiming that we're creating this utility that, everyone and their mom is going to end up using. We've got a cause, we've got a use case, and we're working towards that. And that is being charitable while also making the investors of this project, financially wealthier. That's about as much as I can ask for out of a project that I work for, that I invest in. If you're not, making promises and not delivering them, if you're actually doing what you say you're going to do, and you know what that is, if it's a charity token, if it's a fan token, whatever it is, if you're doing that and you're working towards it, which the team is doing oh my God, I'm too tired, tirelessly, then you know that your funds are about as SAFU as they can get. Obviously, market conditions is one thing that you'll never be able to avoid if you're pairing your liquidity with a volatile asset like BNB. But this is the game we play. So if that type of volatility scares you a little bit, then I suggest that you actually get out of crypto, because this is going to happen no matter what happens in the world. But outside of that, we've got one goal in mind, and that's donating as much money to as many good causes as possible, taking care of people that are in a little bit of a tough space right now, whether that be with rent, student loans, like we mentioned, and also giving back to the people who believe in us in the form of reflections, in the form of giveaways, just making sure that the money that comes into this project in terms of the taxes that we take on buys and sells goes to people who need it, more than your average person.
I agree with that. And I'm just super excited to see, what you guys have in store. I'm still holding my 3 BNB. I'm going to check on my phone a little bit later on how much reflections I've gotten. I'm actually really, really curious about that. So what are the taxes? Could you break down, all the taxes with how many percent, I guess, goes to, if any, goes to marketing, how many percent goes to, rewards, and then how much percent goes to, the charity?
Absolutely, man. So it's a 6% buy, 6% sell. And with that, 2% goes to philanthropic ventures. So charitable donations, whatever Team Trees, Team Seas, the donations to people for, on an individual aspect. 2% goes to marketing and development. And 2% goes BUSD dividends to holders. So it's a super simple breakdown. We're not trying to do 15 sell, 2 buy, whatever it may be. It's 12% round trip. So you get in for 6, you get out for another 6. And each one of those things is just an even split 3 ways: 2% to charity, 2% to marketing and development, and 2% to reflections in the form of BUSD. Super straightforward, super easy. We all saw that when the reflection tokens came out, and SafeMoon was a 5 and 5, if I'm not mistaken. Was it a 10 and 10? No, it was a 10 and 10. Either way,
10 and 10,
we're getting now where it's, we saw these things that had variable taxes, that if somebody sold a big amount, then buys were lowered, and it just got really complicated. We want to keep things simple. We don't want people to have to worry about when they want to buy or when they want to sell. At the end of the day, everybody is they're in control of their own finances. We don't want to tell people what to do, but it's also very frustrating if you're trying to watch the chart to time your buy or time your sell. So it's 6% in, 6% out, 7% slippage will often go through. If not, maybe crank it up to 7.5. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all that there is to it.
Cool. So I'm excited to see what the community has to ask, dude. I'm telling you, man, I cannot, I cannot rephrase this more than enough. My community absolutely fucking kills it with the questions. These guys have the best questions ever asked. So I'm super excited to see what these guys have planned. I'm going to drop below. Today, instead of, because usually what we do is that we do duck races as, I guess, the random listeners, and then we obviously do a Kahoot for the trivia. But obviously Alan is not here with us. I think he's stuck in traffic in London. It's a little bit busy at this time. It's pouring for him, obviously. So, I have a different way of how we're going to do the trivia. I think it's going to be, as we used to do with, I pick a really super hard question. The first person to answer it right gets it. And then we'll do 3 random listeners. I'll just pick randomly someone that's rocking the name, someone that joins their TG and all this other stuff. So, so I'm here. I'm going to say, drop your questions below for MrBeast and Token. People could just ask their questions below, and me and Trader are gonna try our best to answer everything. And I cannot stress this enough. These guys have sick questions, amazing questions. So let's look at all the questions coming in. I guess they were ready for, obviously. I always do this, so they were definitely ready for the questions to be asked. Okay, so PCI, it's great to see you, PCI. You're always active on the chat. Super excited to see you, man. So he asked, so as we all know, MrBeast is one of the biggest influencers in the internet and one of the most creative event marketers too, because he's always making new events, and we consider. Okay, so I guess he's asking, in a sense, are you guys going to, have future events for your, diamond hand holders, as well as, I guess people that hold a significant supply? Would that be something, in the works?
Yeah, so absolutely. What we want to do is learn to walk before we learn to run. And what I mean by that is focusing our energy and the marketing budget and the charitable donations, making sure that everything is done in a way that we can grow at a steady, consistent pace. And as we get to points where things start to become a little bit more self-sustainable due to just the nature of, when people start commonly investing that, wouldn't have seen this in the traditional way that we find these projects, these, small cap coins. When that becomes a little bit more self-sustainable with constant investment, then we can start allocating some energy and time towards these other, diamond hand groups, these events, whatever it may be. But it's not off the table. At the end of the day, the people who are going to be able to get us where we need to be are the investors that are coming in now, the diamond hands holders that are going to actually hold through the ups and downs, because it's inevitable in this game, right? It's going to go up, it's going to go down. As this goes on, those are the people that we want to, take care of. Whether it be through exclusive giveaways for, for example, let's say that we end up with a diamond hand chat or a whale chat. You have to meet certain requirements in order to be in that chat, obviously. Otherwise, it wouldn't really be a diamond hand chat or a whale chat. Now, if you're in that group, it's going to be a lot less populated than the main chat. So your chance of winning these giveaways in those groups are going to be, astronomically bigger. If you're in a group of 10,000 members and now you're in a whale group that only has, 70 of them, you just increased your chances of winning by a lot. So absolutely not off the table, but I do want to stress it that the main priority right now is making sure that things go in the direction that we want them to. We've got personal goals in terms of market cap. We hit 1, we got to 1.2, we had a little bit of a pullback and we're already eating it back up. So before we start talking about diamond hand groups with events and all this type of stuff, we want to try and hit that, 5 mil, then that 10 mil, all the way up to, whatever it may be, to that point where we do have that sustainability that allows us to allocate our energy into these other avenues that are going to take care of the people that have been with us from the beginning, take care of the people that, invested a lot into it, whether that be a whale group, whether that be Diamond Hand Group. I hope that answers the question.
100%. You guys are fairly new, so obviously with certain, as time goes, more and more of this type of stuff, will be put into place. It's very, very common, obviously, with projects, that are, going to be lasting for a very long time. So 100% couldn't agree more. So Mr. Viking asked, so, you guys already have a, philanthropic DEX. So it was basically the app on MrBeastFanToken.com. You are correct, Mr. Viking. Mr. Miking, sorry. So do you guys have, I guess a bot that automatically donates to charity, or is it more, because you mentioned earlier that's 5,500 and then 5,500. Is that, being set at a certain threshold, or does it automatically just send over to, Team Trees?
So I got to make a correction there on that 55. That actually was. Let me just look at.
Okay. All good.
All right. Yeah. Sorry. Every once in a while, I get hot mic'd by. I'm not sure who it is. I imagine maybe you, just given the fact that I think you're the only other one with a mic. But it echoes back, and I get confused if I should keep going or if I should stop. But let me just quickly get this up. We got in terms of actually donated. Oh man, I can't even find. Oh, here we go. So 8,000 to Team Trees, and then 35 to Team Cs. So obviously we like trees more. No, I'm just kidding. It's just kind of the way that it's gone. In terms of actually having these donations happen on chain, no, they will not happen that way. They do happen at the end of the day, getting accumulated, so that we can kind of choose where they go and how much goes where. If we were to put that on chain, then you'd kind of have to set the parameters early on, which wouldn't be a bad thing. But at the end of the day, we want to accumulate so we can make bigger donations down the line. If partnerships come into play where we can team up with, X YouTuber, Y influencer, whatever it may be, where we each match each other's donation to maybe another charitable organization that isn't affiliated to MrBeast, right? Obviously, we want to donate to charities that are affiliated with him, but also we're not ruling out anything else. It's great in terms of exposure when we're trying to get directly at MrBeast himself. But if there's a good cause out there that needs money and we need to, fund them, then they're just not off the table. And because of that, we're not going to automate these donations. Just given the nature that new things are going to come up, new partnerships, new everything like that. And then when it comes to the money that's already been donated, that's ultimately up to, the owner and the co-owner, which is Zuckerberg's. So at the end of the day, what they decide to do is where that money's going to go. But you can bet your bottom dollar that that's going to be ending up going to a charitable aspect, something good in a positive manner.
Okay, cool. There's a lot of other great questions being asked. Okay, so David asks so he really likes the project, and he says that, you guys are going to be donating to charity on the website. So, obviously, besides, Team Trees and Team Cs, is there any other, charity or I guess country that you guys are going to be, focusing on?
Yeah, great question. And it really does come, it hits a little close to home given the last, let's call it, for me, 2 years. Living in Vietnam, it's not a first world country. When COVID hit, it was really, really bad for a lot of people. There was an app over here that basically if you needed stuff, you could post on the app and it created a map so that people could, try and get you those things, whether it's female hygiene products, diapers, canned food, rice, all that stuff. However, we were in full lockdown. So these people weren't getting what they needed. We ended up donating, this was just in a community of whales that I was in, but we gathered a bunch of money and actually went to the shops. We basically got papers that allowed us to go out so we could buy this stuff, and these people came and they got it. Just recently, we got smoked by a Typhoon Noru. And I saw similar things where people were unable to go to work, do the hustle, do all that type of stuff. And we were completely flooded. So I saw people in need over here. And when I was mentioning that to the team, they brought it up that, hurricanes were absolutely smoking the East Coast down in Florida. I know even the East Coast of Canada got hit by one pretty bad, which is, unprecedented. So these are the type of things where we want to hang on to that budget, that charity budget, to make sure that, when these things happen and people need money quickly, we can't control that. It's an act of God. It's whatever you want to call it. When these things hit, there's no real preparation for it. So these are the types of situations that people need the money and they weren't able to kind of prepare for it. When that happens, not having it automated, to touch on the last question, is really working in our favor, because we can put that money towards the people who need it in that current situation where the world is at. So in terms of focusing on individual countries, it's not like we're going to favor one or over the other, but given world events and what's going on, we're going to be allocating those funds to people who need it during that time. So, we all know how messed up the world is right now. We got war going on. We got global warming that's absolutely messing people up, poverty, inflation. Things aren't looking good in the overall scope. When these things do start to happen, if we're in a position to try and help people as everything kind of collapses around us in terms of the world, it feels pretty good. And hopefully this will show people that as we get together and actually give this money away, that there's more to, more to this life than just hustling and grinding for yourself. It's great to hustle and grind. It's great to have an amazing life. However, it's also great to help other people who are in maybe a bit of a rut, maybe been in a long rut, maybe just got smoked by a typhoon and now they can't run their sandwich shop. And, when they make, let's call it $8 a day, right? These are the types of situations that we want to try and help out. Even if it's just, a month's salary for people that only make $200 a month. These are the types of things that we want to focus on. So individually, country-wise, no, we're not focusing on that. But individually, event-wise, absolutely. If, like I mentioned before, we've got the Google Doc on our website that you can go to, submit your story. If you've got something going on and we can verify it and everything's legitimate, then there's a donation coming from MrBeast Fan Token going to these people who actually need it.
Man, and you guys are definitely, pushing the right steps and everything. So Agent James asks is, he sees what you guys are doing. It's absolutely great. You guys are building a great community, utilizing MrBeast's fame and helping people at the same time is, amazing. But why does the contract, sell for the BUSD rewards and not just auto earn rewards in BUSD? Is that, I don't think that's possible, to auto earn rewards, because then that would be printing BUSD dollars.
Yeah, so I'll just touch on that real quick. This isn't the US dollar. We can't just print it and give it away to people. When these tokens, when somebody buys X amount or whatever, at some point it's got to get converted. So on chain, what happens is if we were to convert every single buy to take that 6% 3 different ways for the 2%, 2%, 2%, you'd be paying gas on all those things. So rather than, pay gas on 3 transactions every single time that a person transacts once and then transaction to get those to the wallets that they need to be, it stockpiles. If you look at the contract sales, they're minimum, man. If you have a look at the chart, if you have a look at the contract, it's not affecting the chart in any negative way. It's set up this way, and loads of tokens do it this way as well in terms of their, swap to liquefy. It's just, you set the parameters, and the parameters are set in a way that is not going to affect the chart negatively when these things are, when these transactions take place, but it's also not going to, charge us a gas fee every single time on multiple different transactions.
Sick. So Matt asks is, he has a question. If ever, MrBeast saw this token in the first impression, let's say it wasn't good, because I remember back in the day, with Top G, Entertain was like, what happened, where it was like he didn't like the token, I guess. And then, what happened.
Wait, before we go any further with that, can I actually explain? I'll just do it really quickly.
Yeah, explain it quickly, because I actually sold right before that, because I was like, you know what, I'm up like $5,000, I will just sell.
Yeah, so quickly, just because I don't even like talking about this guy anymore. I really like that we've gone to a charitable figure rather than a misogynist. But he posted on his Instagram, whoever made that coin better get at me, DM me. And that just sparked a frenzy, right? And then when what he was asking for was 50% of the total supply, not the circ supply, not the circulating supply, the total supply. And we told him, man, that's not even possible. Also, if we give you 50%, like you can manipulate this to it, you can drive it straight to the ground. After he didn't like what he heard in that conversation, wasn't willing to negotiate, he just came straight out on the same Instagram story 15 minutes later, whatever it was, and said, it's all a scam. It's all a scam. Nobody buy this. You deserve to lose your money, just in the most Andrew Tate way. So what he did is he faked out his community and then pulled back on it. There's some very good evidence to support that he had actually purchased before that first Instagram post and had sold before the second one. So this is the type of person, this is why I was saying it's super important to choose, if you're going to create a fan token, make sure that the public figure is honorable. Make sure that they are charitable is another great one. Make sure that they're seen good in the public eye, as opposed to a controversial figure that can potentially, hurt the project down the line, be greedy, whatever it is. So if the first impression isn't good, because by using his name to earn or to market, what will the plans of team be explaining or giving him an understanding that your team doesn't doing it for fame or money? So ultimately, money speaks, money talks, right? And the money that's going to be talking in this situation, obviously, MrBeast doesn't care about money. We all know that by now. However, what he does care about is money moving to good causes. So regardless of what his opinion is on the project, there's no way that someone's going to say, hey, you know what, guys, I don't want you donating to our charity, right? That's kind of the way that we're looking at it. Is already we've donated $11,000 to 2 of his charities. We plan on doing this on an individual level, as well as more donations to actual, NGOs and charitable organizations. As that keeps continuing, I think it would actually be a detrimental view or outlook on him as a person if he's trying to shut it down. At the end of the day, we have no legal, there's no legal action that can come against us for using it. We specifically say we're not affiliated with them and that it is a fan token. Those 2 things right there kind of save you in the long run for that type of stuff. But in terms of the impression, if it's not good, well, we just keep on going with what we're doing and donating money to, a good cause. And then 2, is there going to be a maximum earning of BUSD reward by holding the token? No, it's 2% of the volume, right? So 2% of that, sorry, I said that wrong. It's not 2% of the volume. There's 6% tax on buys and sells. So 2% on any buy and any sell will be put into a pool and then distributed back to the holders. So no matter what happens there, as more people join, you'll be getting that 2%. The bigger your bag is, again, this is proportional to your wallet size. So if I hold one MrBeast fan token and someone else holds, 20,000, they're going to get more of a share of that BUSD reflection than I am. It's the only way that it's fair. Otherwise, I would make 1,000 wallets and buy 1 token each time. You know what I mean? So that's the logic behind the maximum earning of BUSD reward. No, there isn't one. As long as money is coming into the project, as long as volume is going on, even if we're going sideways and there's buys and sells evenly, there'll still be 2% in BUSD that's going back to every single holder, proportionate to their wallet size.
And also, he also touched on this. I think it's really, really important for people, to understand. MrBeast's, I guess, name cannot be tarnished because, number one, it explicitly says MrBeast fan. It's a fan token. So it's created by, fans of MrBeast in hopes of, doing something good for charity. And you guys obviously picked a great person, philanthropist, MrBeast. He's got a whole YouTube channel of just him, doing these crazy challenges with delivering, money like to thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to these food banks. He's doing a great job. But yeah, 100%. It's a fan token, guys. So it doesn't say MrBeast token. It doesn't say MrBeast token. It says MrBeast fan token. Okay, perfect. I just want to make that clear. Okay, so Marshall asks is that every project also needs to carry its long-term vision and goals because otherwise projects cannot be able to develop and sustain in the future. Would you like to share about the mission? I think this was already answered. Marshall?
I can quickly wrap it if we want.
You want to touch on it for people that are new? 100%.
Sure, absolutely. So, our long-term mission is to essentially continue donating and continue generating financial gains for everybody who's invested, whether it's a new investor, an old investor, whatever it may be. So the idea here is to get enough exposure back on the token where our charitable donations are actually a marketing tactic that works in our favor. I don't like saying it like that because then it sounds like we're using charitable donations in order to get financial gain. But at the end of the day, in order to make sure that our holders and the project has a long life, a sustainable life, a solvent charity treasury, oof, that's a tongue twister. In order to do all that, what we want to do is, a lot of these charity donations are going to get eyeballs on the project. And the more that we do, the more eyeballs that we get, the more turnaround that we're going to see, people coming into the Telegram, learning more about crypto, learning about this. And if everything works with the marketing that we've got planned, this can continue to move on, push past just crypto and kind of blend in Web 2, let's call it YouTube, to Web 3, let's call it MrBeast fan token. We can make these partnerships that it doesn't just limit us to MrBeast. We see YouTubers doing it all the time where they cross promote. It's going to be no different here. It does. If somebody else wants to jump on board, match a donation, or give some exposure to MrBeast fan token through their YouTube channel, even if it's not MrBeast himself, there's so many avenues that this can generate, positive price action coming back into the project while simultaneously allowing us to donate thousands of dollars to good causes. Again, I just want to say it one more time, $11,000. We're 5 days old. We're literally 5 days old, and $11,000 has gone to charitable donations. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe I'll get a quick update on it. If we go here once more, 14,834 when I started this, 14,875 now. So since I last called on the dashboard itself, we've gone up $45. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not amazing numbers there, but it's also not bad. That's going up. Sorry, I don't even think I told what those numbers are. That's reflections paid back to the holders. So we've got $11,000 donated and 14,875 back to the holders. Pretty nice ratio there in terms. You got to take care of your own before you can take care of others, right? On the airplane, you put your mask on first, and then you put your kids on second. So it's the same thing. We want to make sure that the people that believe in the project, that are holding with us, that are putting their money, their hard-earned money into the project, that they're being taken care of, whether that's through price action, whether that's through the actual reflections. And then on top of that, the 11,000 that's been donated is going to, amazing causes. So right now we're looking at, that's roughly 26 grand in 5 days that has been either given back to the community or given back to, charitable NGOs, charitable Team Trees, Team Cs right now, with much more on the horizon. 26 grand in 5 days. I mean, that's, for me, I hadn't actually done that math yet. That's pretty incredible.
Absolutely nuts, and you guys are absolutely killing it. So with the whole aspect, $40 and an hour. Imagine that 24 hours a day. That is what that's 880 bucks just in reflections. That's just absolutely nuts. And it's going straight back to the holders, which I'm quite impressed with. Okay, perfect. So let's go to the next question. So, do you guys, I'm actually curious about this one. Do you guys have, I think what is super underrated in my opinion is TikTok marketing, because I actually do TikTok marketing for my Gems channel. But do you guys, plan to, use TikTok? Right now, are you guys doing, Twitter, obviously Telegram? You're here with me right now, so obviously you guys are doing Telegram. Are you guys doing Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, any of those avenue streams?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the wrong guy to speak to when it comes to TikTok. It's lost on me. It must be a generational thing. That being said, I do understand the power that it harnesses, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency. There was a little bit of a lull there when they were talking about banning it maybe a year ago. And I was kind of secretly a little bit happy because it's one aspect of social media marketing that I don't know. I could learn it, I guess, but I just haven't put the time in. That being said, if you go to our main Telegram channel, t.me/MrBeastFanToken, you'll be able to see some of the TikToks that we've already lined up. We have more TikTok influencers moving forward. But again, we don't want to kind of launch everything all at once. All the utilities that are coming out between the DEX, staking pools, these donations that we're making. I mean, it's one thing to donate these things. We could have gone out and donated $26,000 in one go to one thing. However, you kind of have to use it to your advantage. Again, I don't like saying this stuff because it is charity, but at the same time, in order for us to donate the most amount of money for the longest amount of time, how we use this charity money now is super, super, super important. Because once money stops coming in, then it's done, right? That's the thing. We need to maintain positive growth. We need to maintain positive exposure, everything like that. So when it comes to TikTok marketing, we absolutely have it. When it comes to Twitter, Telegram, we just opened up our Discord. All the socials are taken care of. We're working on it all the time. However, it's not going to come out in one massive swoop, right? We see this happen with new projects all the time where they pre-list CMC, they pre-list CoinGecko, they have their influencers ready, lined up, and they do everything at launch. And then, your marketing budget is gone and everything to generate hype is already there and the holders don't have anything to look forward to. And you slowly teeter off and, ride off into the sunset and without, holding a bag of what is now dust. So how we spend the money, where we spend the money, and how we market is super crucial. And we understand that. Moving forward, TikTok is definitely, it's active right now, as well as we're going to continue with TikTok influencers. And then same goes for all the other traditional marketing techniques that are used for cryptocurrencies. And then on top of that, we're lucky enough to have put ourselves in a position where we can kind of step outside of the box here when it comes to marketing and allocate funds to certain areas that, like I mentioned before, might not work for other tokens, but given the nature of MrBeast fan token, I mean, a targeted billboard in his hometown seems like it's got a much better chance of, generating positive ROI than if we were, let's baby Elon Doge Musk token, whatever it is, and you put a billboard up at, Tokyo or Staples Center, all the ones I mentioned before. So I do feel like the marketing side of things is really taken care of. I mean, I've been rambling now, but in terms of the short answer here, absolutely yes, TikTok marketing is live and we're going for it.
Obviously, as I said before, TikTok's super. I absolutely despise TikTok in every sense. Then again, I also have a verified account on TikTok that I use with the helps of marketing. But obviously, if you want me to, comment on some TikTok, I don't even have TikTok downloaded on my phone. I have TikTok on my laptop because I know how addicting it is. So if you want to send me a couple TikToks, I can comment on the verified account. It looks good for the brand and everything. So let me know if you're down for that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thank you.
No problem. So another thing, I was reading some of these questions. They're great. Do you guys, plan to have any play to earn game, NFTs, any of that aspect or?
Yeah, given our art, obviously NFTs are not off the table. Again, we want to learn to walk before we run. That's kind of the main thing. So play to earn game, no, nothing lined up yet, not ruling it out, but in terms of on the roadmap and in terms of what we want to focus on right now, play to earn definitely not there. However, on the NFT side of things, basically what we want to look at in these things is, will whatever we create and spend time developing, money developing, whatever it may be, will that eventually turn into money coming back into the project so that it can fund the charity wallet? If the answer to that question is a no, it's not going to, based on statistics, analytics, whatever you want to look at, then no, we won't do it because it won't benefit the project. And we want to spend each dollar so that we can get $1.50 back, essentially. You know what I mean? I mean, those numbers are obviously not exact, but that's the idea. Every dollar that we spend, we need to be getting more than $1 back for it. And if a play to earn game ends up being that side of things, then yeah, on the table. If we look at it and we go, no, you know what, this is going to cost X amount and we estimate we'll get Y back and it's negative, then no, we won't do it. NFTs though, you've seen our art. I mean, I absolutely love them. I would love to see a full collection be made and personally cop a couple of those myself. I know that the team has spoken about it and that it is something that we want to move forward with. So down the line, it's definitely not being ruled out in terms of creating a collection. And, hopefully we can generate more revenue towards charity for that. Maybe we can use it for giveaways, everything like that. So it's definitely in the back of everyone's mind. But again, what we want to focus on now is just steady exposure, steady growth in terms of holders, in terms of Telegram members, in terms of price action, everything going in the right direction. Once we get to that stage where we feel pretty confident where we're at, that we can maybe focus or allocate a little bit more energy towards new utilities, new incentives for people to buy, hold, whether that be NFT, play to earn, any of the traditional things that are going on now, or maybe not so traditional, but becoming traditional. Yeah, absolutely. Not off the table one bit.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Let me take one or two questions. Also, you know what? I'm gonna allow people to raise up their hand. If you have any questions, please raise up your hand. If you want to say in person or straight to Tradar himself. Okay, Mr. C, you can now talk. Mr. C, there you go.
Hello. Yeah,
What's up, Mr. C?
Good, Frog. Can you hear me?
I got you. What's good, Mr. C?
So apologies, I'm having bad coverage. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, I also wanted to know on your project about the contracts. How many core members has access to the contract wallet or the contract changes?
Okay, so you cut out a little bit there, but I think what you asked is how many core team members have access to the basically the funds, the charity funds, everything like that. Is that what you're wondering? Marketing funds and all, is that the question?
Yeah, that is the question.
Okay, yeah. So that would be the founder and the co-founder. So two.
Okay. They can make changes to this contract, or is it fixed like the taxes, or
in terms of the actual contract,
yeah.
So in terms of the actual contract itself, we have the Pink Sale Seifu badge, and for anyone who doesn't know what that means or what that entails, basically, in order to protect Pink Sale's credibility, they created the Seifu badge, and what that means is when you create this token. Smart contract, you actually give up ownership to a Pink Sale developer. So there's a Pink Sale developer that has the contract, and with that means that we can't make any changes. And the reason why they did this is because there was loads of scams that came on Pink Sale, and all of a sudden Pink Sale's credibility starts to go a little bit down, the toilet, and they need to figure out a way to make sure that anything launching on their platform is safe if they follow the prerequisites or the necessary requirements. So what that would be is doxing, giving your information to Pink Sale, and then ultimately giving up contract control to Pink Sale. So if we wanted to change the taxes to 99% for whatever reason, we can't do it. We'd have to contact Pink Sale, contact the developer that is in control of the MrBeast fan token smart contract, and then they would have to basically say, okay, why do you want to do this? Okay, that makes sense. We can do it. So a 99%, honeypot wouldn't make sense. They wouldn't allow you to do it. If we wanted to change it to, 10 and 4 instead, or 10 and 2 instead, whatever it is, if we gave them a good enough reason, then the Pink Sale developer actually changes the smart contract. So obviously any project on Pink Sale that doesn't have the Seifu badge, this is not the same case. The token creator is the one who still has control of it. If you have that badge, it means that Pink Sale is the one who actually controls any changes within the parameters of the smart contract itself. So we can't change anything, but in terms of the charity wallet and whatnot, the contract sends it to that wallet. Somebody has to be in control of that wallet. And like I said, the co-founder and the founder are the two that actually have control to those wallets. But in terms of the smart contract, everything is now going through Pink Sale.
Well, thanks for the detailed explanations. Thanks.
Of course, anytime, man.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna take one more. Let's have Kratos. Kratos, you may ask your question, buddy.
Kratos.
I think Kratos is a little bit shy. I was talking to him earlier yesterday. Kratos, if you have your question, feel free to ask. I'm gonna unmute another person. Let's get Philip.
Okay.
Oh, he's back.
Okay.
What's up?
I'm good. I wanted to ask. He didn't say anything about Max Wallet, so an anti-wave mechanism that has been put in place for the project to prevent dump.
I gotta say, I didn't hear that. I didn't really understand.
Okay. I'm speaking about anti-wave mechanism. Is it put in place for the project?
Oh, anti-whale mechanisms.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, anything that basically we got audited by Pink Sale alongside with the KYC badge and the SafeFu badge. So between all those things, it ends up putting liability on Pink Sale itself because they're the ones signing off and in control of this actual smart contract. So within that smart contract, if the auditor or Pink Sale themselves sees anything that could potentially be a downfall and maybe be associated with any sort of a scam, whether that be a whale dumping a huge portion of it, they look for these things. They target them. They have a little rating system through the audit. If you've ever read the audits that are done through Interfi, and then you basically have to fix them. Otherwise, they're not going to put that SafeFu badge on us. So in terms of the actual parameters of the anti-whale mechanisms, I don't have them right in front of me. I'm not, like I mentioned in the very beginning of this, I'm not a developer. However, Pink Sale themselves would not put themselves in a situation where it could potentially be harmful to all the investors of something within the code of a smart contract. So if that was, somebody could have 99% of the total supply and sell it all at once, which would absolutely be, unrecoverable for the project. They wouldn't allow that in there. So there are parameters put in place to make sure that everybody is as safe as possible. And essentially, the only thing that anyone who's investing in MrBeast fan token needs to worry about is market volatility. If BNB tanks, the price will go down because our liquidity pair goes down. If BNB skyrockets, it goes in the other way. People buying and selling, in one direction more than the other. These are things that, this is the game we play, like I mentioned before. And these things will be essentially the factor on whether or not we, go up or if we go down. So market conditions is the only thing that's going to change the price. In terms of the smart contract, it is as safe as possibly can be. And depending on what would ever happen to a smart contract that has the SafeFu badge, it's basically saying that Pink Sale has all liability when it comes to these smart contracts that they put the SafeFu badge on. So, I wish I had the exact parameters in front of me so that I could tell you. But if I'm going to be completely honest, I wouldn't even know where to find them in a contract. With that being said, like I did mention a couple times already, that SafeFu badge is, something that I really feel was needed in the launchpad space. And it's proving to be a very good and efficient way to make sure that these projects are as fair and as safe as possible that are launching on Pink Sale. So I hope that answers the question. I apologize that I don't have the exact parameters in front of me, but like I said, Pink Sale basically vouching for us is a good way to put it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you, Kratos.
Okay, perfect. I think we're gonna end it off here with the questions. Thank you guys so much, for asking the questions. Obviously, if your question was not asked, you're still eligible to win the best question. So let's go to. I'm gonna pick 3 random listeners right now. I'm gonna pick one person right now that's listening. So, Trader, if you want to tell me when to stop, I'll stop. And yeah.
All right. I'm going to say stop now.
Dowars. Okay. Let me write down his name.
You can thank me later, Dowars. Send me 50%. I'm just kidding.
We send it over to Alan. Hold up. Okay, next person. I'm gonna have the CryptoFrog's name. I'm just gonna pick something random now. Experions. He's got CryptoFrog's gems. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so Experion's you're our second winner. Experion Frogs. God, he's rocking the username as well. Perfect. And he's rocking the name. That's perfect. He's rocking both. Okay. So that's number 2. And then number 3. Please join the MrBeast fan token Telegram, and I'm gonna pick someone random there to win $25 there. Just say, I don't know. You could say something about the AMA. I don't know. CryptoFrog's AMA sent me, or I don't know. I don't know what you could say. Just pick something cool. I'll pick someone random. Please don't spam.
Say Tradar's the best VC AMA host ever.
Sure, say that. Say that. I don't care. I don't care. Just pick something random. Obviously, please don't spam. There's a lot of people typing. Just pick someone random. Obviously, the Telegram is there, so please join it up. I'll just wait for. I guess there's a lot of people typing. Give it a couple minutes. If you want to pick someone random, Tradar, feel free to do so.
Yeah, I'll jump in there. Let me see. Okay. Whoa, this guy's got the same username as me and the same wallet address as me. That's weird. Tradar. No, I'm just kidding, guys. We're looking at. I saw him earlier. Oh, there you go. Mason Ono at CryptoFrog Gems.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
He's got it in there. He shouted me out. He's got the CryptoFrog Gems name. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Mason, you're gonna DM me. So it's Amork_crypto22. Let me send that over to Alan. 1 second. So obviously we can't do the Kahoot today because obviously Alan runs a Kahoot. Obviously there's stuff with his weather, but I'm gonna go to the Twitter. So guys, please go to the Twitter. It's CryptoFrog's Gem, and me and Tradar are gonna think of a super hard question. The first person to answer it right will win $50 for our trivia. So Tradar, I'm gonna DM you. We're gonna
Sure.
have some good questions. And yeah. So CryptoFrog's Gems on Twitter. CryptoFrog's Gems on Twitter.
We got it.
So I'm gonna copy and paste it on Twitter. I'm gonna say in about 10 seconds. Let's scroll up Twitter. Dude, our Twitter page is growing, dude. Last month we had like 700 followers. Now we're at 1,300. So that's great. Okay. Let me get it 1 second. Copy to this MacBook, man. It's killing me. Okay. For MrBeast. Okay. I'm gonna drop it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's tweeted. First person to get it right. Let's check who's gonna get it.
I'll send you the answer right now.
Yeah, send me the answer just so I could see who's. Everyone's putting like 2%. It's not percentage, guys. Oh, this is.
And I don't remember. I don't know if anybody recalls, but we were at. I can't even say it, can I? I don't want to give it away.
Don't say it, man. You got to get the exact number, and I'll give you a hint. You need something to find the answer. You need something to find the exact number. It's not like 11. It's got to be specific, guys. It's not even 11K. It's a lot more than that. Damn, there's so many answers. Holy shit. Hold up. 28 comments already. Jesus. Who's got the right answer so far?
Well, I think we got to go at the number I sent you because it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think this guy's kind of fair? He's kind of got around the dot.
What is it? Which one?
Jimmy won't give up. .nft.
Oops.
He's got it around. That's around the range. I think that's fair.
Yep, that's fine by me. Absolutely.
15,000. Jimmy sent me a DM on Twitter.
And just to quickly touch on that, if anyone remembers, when we started this, it was 14,734. That's when we started this AMA. And then when I touched on it about 30 minutes in, we were at 14,000 something else. But now we're actually even up more from the time that I even sent you the number that was for the question. Now we are sitting at, which is absolutely insane, $15,211.68. It's absolutely incredible. It's just constantly paying out, which is awesome. So that obviously means that, you know, some people came in, they made a purchase, and those rewards are going back to the holders. And soon everyone who's buying afterwards or even selling, those reflections are going to be coming back to you guys as well.
Okay, sick, 100%. So I wrote down all the people's names. And also I love doing this, is we have basically a thing where it's a dissection. So people could say 3 things they like about the project in a nice, you know, formatted, like a sense, and 3 things they didn't like about the project. So it's, you know, obviously devs can see, hey, improvements. What can we improve in this? What can we improve in that? So let me get it over in a second. Thank you guys so much for joining. It really, really means a lot. We're going to pick the winners soon. I'm going to put up an announcement post in a bit. 1 second. And we're going to pick the winners out. And we're going to pay everyone by today. I guarantee it. I remember last time it took it took about 2 days to get everyone paid, but we're going to pay all the winners today. So make sure you DM me, make sure you're fast with it and everything. Okay. Thank you so much, Trader, for having us on. We had over 200 people, 210, 215, something like that at a point, which is nuts because it's literally 12:26 for me. A lot of people are at work, you know, so it's great to see a great community on and everything.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. And this has been great. It's been a lot of fun. I just want to end it with a thanks to your community, a thanks to our community that came over here and showed up. And then more importantly, if anybody's ever got any questions about the project, just fire me a DM. You got my username here, TradeRDAO. Yeah, just feel free to send me a message. I get back to most of them. If you get buried in there, I apologize. But you can always just ping me again, and I'll get back to each and every one of you. Thanks again, guys. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Trader, for joining. And thank you all to the Froggies for joining. I think we have another AMA booked today, which is absolutely nuts. So this is the first time ever I'm having 2 AMAs in one day. So obviously, I'm still partnered with MrBeast Fan Token. I'll be partnered for them for quite a while because I really like the token. So excited to see you guys there. If you guys come to the next AMA, obviously I'm in software engineering, so it's a little bit difficult for me to, you know, come to all the AMAs. So I think Alan's going to host that one, and he's definitely going to be doing the, you know, the cahoots and all that other stuff. So I'm excited to see what he has planned. And yeah, hope to see you guys there. Thank you everyone for joining. It really means a lot. Thank you for the people from MrBeast Fan Token as well for joining. And if you enjoyed your stay here, I'd love to see you part of the community. Be active. You know, we've got the tightest community on the BSC. Definitely by far. I'm not even saying this through a bias standpoint, dude. Our community is fucking nuts, and we do everything to keep that, because community oriented on the BSC is I think it's the most important thing in the world in crypto right now. So thank you all for joining. It really means a lot. Yeah, I'm going to put up an announcement post right after this. Yeah, excited to see you guys soon. Thank you, Trader, for joining. You have a great voice, by the way. I know a lot of no homo, but a lot of a lot of developers they're a little bit shy when talking. So it's great to for you to have be so free and open and knowledgeable about your stuff.
Yeah, well, I think that all comes down to me not actually being a developer. So, I do enjoy doing this, and I appreciate your time, guys. It's late for me. I'm gonna jump off. I will speak to like I said, if anybody's got any questions, please just fire me a DM, and I'll get back to everybody. Have a good rest of your night or your day or wherever you're at. Just enjoy life, man.
Okay, perfect. Trader, I'm gonna DM you for a quick second right after this AMA, just so you could pick the best question, and then in a bit. Pick the best dissection post in about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll let people 15 minutes to finish all the dissection posts.
Sure. And if you could just fire over the recording of this, that'd be great.
Yeah, 100%. I'll do it right away. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining, guys. I got class soon. I'm excited to see you guys. And see you guys. Peace out.